The month continues.
Welcome
The Impossible Mission month.
Yes.
Number 2.
MI2 John Woo. Billy, what are we drinking?
I got you,
I'm
boys.
quite parched right now.
I'm so pumped.
So this was
Oh, no.
Nice
alcohol?
paper bag.
It's not alcohol.
Oh,
I wish.
Mm-hmm.
So I came in heavy with
Let's
chocolate
go.
milk last time,
heck
Strawberry.
and we're doing the
I've-
best strawberry milk.
Intense strawberry.
Intense.
I've never had their strawberry.
Heck yeah,
I have
man.
not-
You look at
I
that.
haven't had strawberry
I had-
milk in like
I've had strawberry milk
20
before.
years. I have in my life, but not since I was single digits.
Yeah, I haven't had it in so long.
That's. Oh, it's
It's gonna
gonna,
like cruising
Do
cocktail.
we get a nice crunch?
Probably not. No, nothing.
this is gonna be terrible. I just brushed my teeth.
Oh,
Smells good.
Pretty good.
that's a smooth
good.
chocolate milk.
Frothy.
Oh, yeah.
What if we all just collectively like became lactose intolerant and
Strawberry.
shit our pants?
That'd be
This is low fat though.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Good to know.
MI2.
I did miss the first one,
Yeah.
but I am making it. For
Welcome
the
to 2.
Welcome in.
The
This,
return of Patrick.
this movie's freaking nuts.
It is.
I did watch the first one though. I do like that movie a lot.
I think the first 20 minutes.
Billy, or not Billy, Jack, you had never seen this movie.
Never.
As with, anyhow, what did you think of Mission Impossible 2, 2000, directed by John Woo?
I liked it. Norbert vibes, just because of
Tandaway Newton.
yes.
Is
The
this
movie
part-
itself didn't give me Norbert vibes. Just I was like, oh, Norbert, 'cause I
All
didn't
I was
recognize her. At
Thinking about was Norbit.
Yeah, because I didn't recognize her at first, but then I saw her. But then I was like, wait, she's from something, but I don't know what it is. And I was like, Norbit, my favorite.
7 years later.
But no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Are we all in agreement that those of us who have seen the rest, this movie's different?
Yes.
Oh, and I
Yes.
love it for that.
It is not like the first one, and they didn't do any other movie like this since. So it's a one of one. It's as I talked about with the first one, it's this was when they changed directors every time. They got famed Hong Kong action director John Woo, who did films like Hard Boiled, and domestically here in America, he had directed Face Off with John Travolta and Nick Cage, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna get you for Mission Impossible 2," and it's a lot more over the top. It's way more stylized. You know, there's how many slow-mo shots of like Tom Cruise with his long hair spinning around,
Yes.
firing guns.
Flailing his hair around.
Long hair Ethan for this one.
Yeah,
This is
But,
probably the longest hair, Ethan. I don't think.
Yeah, this and Ghost Protocol. It's
Yeah.
between those are the only two he's got. It's probably this.
Everything else, he's crew cut.
I mean,
but-
he's got longer hair right now. Right?
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not this
Not
one.
MI2.
Yeah, it's
The-
not.
yeah.
But it's
The-
not MI1.
the MIP2 flow is strong.
I
Tom Cruise.
think
Maybe
this
too.
is the best Tom Cruise looks.
Yeah.
In
I'm with
the
you
He
there.
Mission
looks, he looks
Impossible
good.
series.
I mean, you look great in the first one as well.
Mhm.
I see why Nia's quickly fallen under him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would too.
You know, in that bathtub. You know,
Before we get too far into it, I was looking up like what fans think is the most like the best one, and they were saying
it's
Fallout.
Fallout.
Mhm.
Yeah, is that
Fallout's the best.
Is
one.
that which one is that? Six.
Six. How many franchises can you say that about? The sixth one is the best one.
Friday the 13th.
That's
That
true.
is
That's
100%
true.
true.
But
Right to it.
But
Not many. You're
not
right.
many.
Not
That's
many.
what I meant.
Right,
I
right.
didn't mean there are no others.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mission Impossible 2 is directed by John Woo. It stars Tom Cruise again as Ethan Hunt. You got Doug Ray Scott as Sean Ambrose. You got Tandaway Newton. You got Ving Rhames is back as our boy Luther Stickle. Brendan Gleeson's in this. As
I was so
John
surprised.
McCloy.
I completely forgot he was in this.
McCloy.
It's always a pleasure to see.
Johnny McCloy.
McCloy.
Yeah, this was released. We're coming up right around 25 years. May 24th, 2000. This was the same weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend, I believe. This was the same weekend as Shanghai Noon, an action comedy with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. And something that I guess we can do this for all of them since we did it for the first one, and it can add a little bit of context as to what and where movies were. Is we talked about the biggest movies of 1996. So let's talk about top 10 highest grossing films of Y2K. And none of you guys have a choice, okay? I'm going to talk your ears off about box office
Hey.
in 2000. This was a year of a presidential election. It was a Bush v. Gore. Took them some time to figure that one out, see who won. That took quite a lot of time. Fred Durst was, rolling our radio waves.
He was rolling.
Green Day released their album Warning to middling success, although it's a pretty good album. Time's been kind to it. What else happened in 2000? Any other major events besides a Green Day drop, a presidential election? I mean, this was more 1999, but people thought, on January 1st, the computers were going to shut down and whatever the fuck.
The main event for WrestleMania that year was Triple H, The Rock, Mick Foley, and Big Show. Fatal 4-way for the WWF Championship.
Who won?
Triple H
Nice.
retains the title.
Oh yeah.
The first time Triple H won the main event of a WrestleMania.
You want to know what else happened in 2000?
What's up?
One of the best Christmas movies ever made. came out.
We will. Here, that's actually a good segue. Here's the. I've beaten around the bush too much. Here are the top 10 highest grossing films domestically, not worldwide, of 2000. I'll go from. In 96, I did 1 to 10. This time, I'm going to go 10 to 1, so we're counting down. Domestically, United States and Canada, top 10 highest grossing films of 2000. Number 10, What Lies Beneath. That was a Robert Zemeckis, Harrison Ford vehicle. Someone else was in that too, was that? Michelle Pfeiffer. Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer, directed by Bobby Z. Phone went off.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9,
Number 9.
Scary Movie.
Ooh.
Kicked off a franchise. Number 8, X-Men.
X-Men, great movie.
Number 7, Meet the Parents.
Also
That's
a great
I'd
movie.
love to do that one sometime. Number 6, The Perfect Storm.
I'm gonna watch this.
Was, I believe, George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and John C. Reilly.
Mhm.
I think they're like fishermen or sailor. I don't really know.
Let's see.
Number 5, What Women Want, a rom-com with Mel Gibson and I believe Helen Hunt. Yeah, here's the poster for What Women Want. It's
What a
it's-
crazy.
it's flight risk director Mel Gibson smiling really large.
I've seen
That's such a wacky
Flight
one.
Risk director.
The
Mel
trailer
Gibson.
for that it's a great trailer.
That is an all-timer.
I've never seen it. I've always known about it, but I've never seen the trailer. Number 4, this was your Best Picture winner of 2000, Gladiator. Number 3, Mission Impossible 2.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, another Robert Zemeckis movie, Castaway. So he dropped 2 movies in 1 year, and they were both among the 10 highest grossing films of Y2K.
Let me hear
And number 1, Ron Howard's travesty, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yes.
Was the
No.
biggest film of 2000.
Yes.
For a good reason.
Woohoo!
For a great reason.
Great movie.
with a gross of $260.7 million domestic.
Wow. That's a bag.
Mm-hmm.
So your biggest movie stars that year, it would appear, were Jim Carrey, Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, and Russell Crowe, and Mel Gibson.
Love you,
hearing
Grinch.
Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise talk again. I know that was discussion of the last
There
one.
I mean, this is
Yes.
still in that.
They're still going at it.
Yeah.
And we talked about them in the 90s. Let's see where they were from like 2000 to like 2005 before Mission Impossible 3. Let's see who's still on top in the first half of, the Bush years. Let's see here. Hanks. I don't know why I'm starting with him, but I just am, even though we're talking a Tom Cruise movie. So here's Tom Hanks from 2000 to 2005. 2000, Castaway. 2002, Road to Perdition. Sam Mendes movie. I believe Ed Harris is in that. No, not Ed Harris. Paul Newman. Paul Newman's in that. It's a Sam Mendes' follow-up to his Best Picture win, American Beauty. And Spielberg's Catch Me If You Can, a movie that I think is fan-fucking-tastic and would be a good pod someday. 2004, he teams up with the Coen brothers and does The Lady Killers, which is not one of the bigger ones in their filmography, but it's there. Another Spielberg meet-up, The Terminal, where I believe he's an immigrant stuck in an airport and eats Burger King. And then a polarizing film, re-teams with Robert Zemeckis, of which he's done many movies with, The Polar Express.
Woo!
Yes.
Oh,
Love.
Not the strongest lineup of movies.
That's a no for me, dog. Now Tom Cruise,
I haven't seen a lot of those.
I love Catch Me If You Can, but that's not really a Hanks movie. That's a Leo movie.
Mm-hmm.
Off of hearing those, though, compared to his work in the 90s, I would just assume Cruise is alright.
Yeah, Mhm.
kind of take
Hanks'
take here.
filmography in the 90s, as we talked about, was
It's
just...
so legendary.
Yeah.
Now, Cruise, 2000, Mission Impossible 2. 2001, Vanilla Sky.
Meh.
It's
I
a
like him in it.
it's a weird movie. It's him
It is,
reteaming
yeah.
with Cameron Crowe after their very successful Jerry Maguire. And it's a movie with a lot of ideas, but is it all comprehensible?
No.
Not
No,
at all.
I wouldn't say so. 2002, his first collaboration of two, but it's crazy that it took them this long, with Steven Spielberg, who also dropped two in 2002, one with Hanks, one with Cruise. Minority Report, fucking banger. I don't know if I'm alone on Minority Report. Pat, I know you've seen it, but it was probably
It was a while
ago.
I've never
Has
seen it.
anyone
I'm
else seen
liking
it?
it.
Never seen it.
Dude, that movie's awesome. It grows more and more prescient by the day, and its depiction of 2054.
Okay.
And then he cameos in Austin Powers and Goldmember, 2002. 2003, The Last Samurai, and 2004, a movie we've done, Collateral.
Wow.
I think Minority Report and Collateral put him over the edge for me, and MI2. But I
Yeah.
think both of those movies are better than Mission Impossible 2. So Hanks wins that, or not Hanks. Cruise wins that micro chunk of time. We'll reassess this when we get to Mission Impossible
week.
3 and see who got the later half of the 2000s. Yeah, so 2000, just what a year. This was the highest grossing film worldwide of 2000, but domestically, Dr. Seuss and Jim Carrey won. I like this movie. What are you guys taking? Grinch fans, Grinch or MI2?
Oh, I'm taking Grinch.
Grinch.
God damn it.
Well, you guys all probably have the aid of nostalgia for the Grinch.
That's true.
Like you probably all grew up with it every Christmas, you know.
But if you're telling me what if I wanted to watch one right now, I think I'm going MI2.
Well, it is also not Christmas.
That's
That
what I'm
is-
saying.
That is a
like,
fact.
Like
yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch Grinch. I'd watch Mission Impossible.
some great Christmas films are great year round. I can if you were like, let's watch The Holdovers right now, I'd be like, sign me up, buddy. If you asked me on Christmas Eve at 8 p.m., you want to watch Ron Howard's Grinch, I'd be like, no, I do not.
Well, that's your problem.
That's true. It is. It's my cross to bear. I'm dealing with it. It's something I live with.
It's a tough
Let's
decision.
watch it.
So
But
what are you guys picking? Mission Impossible 1 or
That was
2?
my next question, and I actually don't know.
I'm taking 2 over 1.
I'm
I
taking
think I
two.
am too,
I'm
honestly.
taking 2.
Billy, you're taking 2?
I'm taking 2.
Like before I watch it again, I was thinking I was like, no, one's better, but I just had so much fun.
So here is where I was. I don't know if I could pick one. I think prior, I definitively said 2, and now I feel like they're a little closer to me than I realized, because I was watching 2 last night, and I've seen them both a few times, but I was watching it, and for the first chunk of it, I was like, I think it might be 1 in a walk, and then I don't know if this is enough time to save a movie. And not that I thought it was bad, but it's not one of the better movies in the franchise. But by the time we get to the climax, I was like, holy fucking shit. This is awesome. This clears and it makes up for the prior hour and a half. When John Woo starts really cooking in the end,
Great.
it reaches some personal peaks that I don't know if they reach again till Fallout. So
The hour 40 mark is when there's a 10-minute stretch where it's just insanity nonstop.
Non-stop.
It's awesome.
it's basically the only scene in the first one that really got me going like that is the retrieval of the knock list, and then this is just the entire climax, and there's such different energies that it's super quiet, suspense, and balls to the wall fucking mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 warring flavors that I like both of them a lot.
One thing I also really like more about this one is it feels like there's more at stake. Because the first one is just a list of people.
Chimera.
Not that that's nothing.
Yeah.
But this is a whole virus that could kill
The entire world.
the entire world eventually.
Hell for some stock.
You know what they say, I think just those greedy bastards, they don't care.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
Trying
first
to
one.
line their Swiss bank accounts.
They tried to warn us, and then all of a sudden, COVID came.
The first one was like espionage, and then we just went shot straight up to global terrorism. So biological terrorism, releasing a deadly virus.
Why are these,
Don't happen.
why create viruses,
I only have one note about this movie, like not from the categories.
Okay.
That's from a villain perspective. I think creating a virus to profit off the antidote is super awesome. I think that, as from a villain's perspective,
It's a great,
Yeah.
That's
it
pretty
is
genius.
dastardly, for sure.
it's genius. You
Until
know,
you
Yeah.
Ethan Hunt.
Oh,
on
Ethan
your
Hunt.
Easter.
A keister.
you don't want him after you.
Oh no! Especially when he clones your face. Oh,
Oh.
forget about it.
Dude, Doug Ray Scott as Sean Ambrose, there's some lines that he said just in his thick accent that were just making me laugh.
Yeah.
I love a good Irish accent.
I loved the accents in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of them. There are many.
Our boy Hugh.
I got some of my
Mhm.
quotes I got aren't even good quotes. It's just the deliveries of them.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that got me going.
Before we get into categories, just a couple things about making of the film, just a few notes. The role of Mission Commander Swanbeck, who was played by Anthony Hopkins, was offered to Gandalf the Grey himself, Ian McKellen,
Mhm.
who declined. But I guess it was between Gandalf and Hannibal Lecter, so we got that.
Who would you rather play?
I think it's too small of a role to really matter. Because either way, you're just like, for two scenes, like, oh, there's Anthony Hopkins, or oh, there's Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
What I think would have been cool was, what if, I don't know, John Bernthal, a real young Bernthal. Was
I would like Gandalf, but he's dressed up as Gandalf.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Like
so
the character
Gandalf
is in it.
Yeah.
but
Gandalf the
he's-
Grey is in Sydney.
Yeah, but he's not playing Gandalf. He just dressed as
dressed
Gandalf.
up
Like
Gandalf.
that. He's just doing some cosplay.
And we all know that it's Gandalf, but
It's
No.
not Gandalf.
It's still Swanbeck.
right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think all the Lord of the Rings movies were probably filmed at this point, but this is a year prior to Fellowship, so like they would have been catching them at an interesting time
Mhm.
Imagine a Lord of the Rings series.
if we did the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be so hard
I
because they're
couldn't.
so
They're-
long.
It was
Just
too
so
long.
much.
Extended edition only.
I thought you were gonna say, what if we had a Lord of the Rings Mission Impossible type series?
Oh,
Let's
Ethan
do it.
Hunt. He would get that ring to
Oh,
Mordor
oh my
like
God.
right away.
It would not have taken 3 movies.
No.
no,
They
it
would
would-
have even had to have shown
it would have
10
taken
hours? 10 hours? Are you kidding me?
Not even a half hour. He would have been back in a half hour.
Imagine a half an hour of Ethan Hunt trying to get the ring.
Oh,
And
I
he
would
gets, and he
love to
gets
see
that.
that. I would
And
love to
it's
see
back.
Tom Cruise
It's like
in the
really
Lord of
bad
the Rings
CGI.
world.
He picks up an orb and Ian McKellen goes, "Your mission, should you choose to accept it,
No, it's
is
really
to get
great.
the ring."
It's really good CGI.
Oh, really good?
Really, really good CGI. And like they're just compacted all into 30 minutes. And like they're like, you got all the experts on the case like going at it. You know what I mean?
Not to take anything away from, the fine work that Andy Serkis did, but can you imagine if Tom Cruise went like full freak mode and played Gollum?
Dude.
Oh, I would
Oh.
love that. Do you think he would do something like that?
No.
No.
Where like not even that weird of a role, but a role where he like isn't Tom Cruise.
Not now. He took more
Yeah.
chances in the 90s, but even then, he's still like a major. The only thing I can think of is like Les Grossman, where it's
Yeah.
like he's like a side character, but then he's in a lot of makeup and everything. But no, I don't think he would be Gollum.
No, he plays Gollum, but like his face is like CGI'd onto the Gollum character.
So
And
he
it
just
still
looks like Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with,
the Gollum
but
body.
with his face
Same
as well, with the
body.
Gollum, same body, but like Tom's like jawline and
Yeah.
face and everything. How insane would that be?
So he's just a Tom Cruise face with a Smeagol body.
Exactly.
Is he speaking like Smeagol or like Tom Cruise?
He's attempting to speak.
Yeah, it's like
but
Tom
you
Cruise
can tell
trying
it's
his
Tom
best.
Cruise. Yeah.
Really bad impersonation.
Or what if he was in Lord of the Rings just as Frank T.J. Mackey, as Magnolia character? That'd be pretty sick. Like, your final step, like in Mordor, is you have to attend his seminar to like a bunch of hobbits or whatever.
Mhm.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, I don't think there's a better put Ethan Hunt in a movie, get the job done than
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that is. That's a good one.
Now I'm just trying to think of other ones. Like what other movies are there where it's like, I mean, I guess 90% of action movies, but like where it's like we have a task that must be done, like that Ethan Hunt can also do.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I mean, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Fucking
Maybe
Alex Garland's Warfare. I don't know.
maybe him like teaming up with Thanos to get all the Infinity Stones.
You wouldn't even need Thanos. You wouldn't need him.
Now I'm just fan casting in random movies. Like, what if instead of Sacha Baron Cohen, he played Jean Girard and he tried to do a French accent?
Walking in the bar.
Oh my god!
He's going like face to face with Farrell.
I know he would have given it like his all.
I want do you think
He
Tom
doesn't have a phone in it.
would Tom Cruise? Do you think he would play like a Thanos?
No, I think he.
I can't pick.
I don't think he would play a CGI character.
No, I don't either.
He's kind of locked in as Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't see him doing
Unfortunately
anything
for
like
him.
that. Some other stuff. So the movie opens with Ethan Hunt free soloing
Mhm.
some fucking rocks, and Paramount was concerned for Tom's safety. He had a harness on and everything, but they tried to get him to change the opening, and he didn't want to
He was
because
persistent.
he was like he couldn't think of a better way to reintroduce audiences to our boy Ethan Hunt, because it had been just 4
Finding.
years. You know, he's probably like, "No, this is the way to do it. This is the way to do
Yeah,
it."
wasn't he like only being held up by like a really thin cable or something like
Mm.
that? Yeah.
And that was a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like,
And then
oh.
When he slides off, I was like, "Whoa!"
And then
don't,
when he's
don't die.
holding himself like backwards, like
Yeah.
like that.
How do you
fucking
do that?
insane.
It's insane.
And then so when he jumps from the one part to the
Yeah.
other, he tore his shoulder.
Oh, did he?
So
It's crazy.
Did he?
he's a whoa. Yeah, so he's everyone knows him for being a dedicated, stuntman.
Mhm.
It goes back 25 years, I'm sure even prior. And then so the final fight, motorcycle or I guess post the jousting, when it's him and Sean Ambrose, trading blows on the beach.
Mm.
So that knife was a real knife. It wasn't a prop. It was a real knife
Especially when it was up to his eye.
at his insistence. So yeah, so it was attached. It was attached to like a cable, and it was measured to stop like a quarter of an inch right from his eye.
That's
Like
crazy.
they had planned it out. He's
I hate that.
That is crazy.
I
Yeah.
hate
like,
that.
what if it's
Anything
like what if
could
it
go
just
wrong.
went like a little?
Yeah.
That's like in
We
John
would know
Wick
Tom Cruise with
One eye.
we would know Tom Cruise with no eye.
with like an eye patch.
And that's
Career
what-
over.
that is what we would know Tom Cruise as.
Career over.
What if that happened, and then he has his own like Vanilla Sky? Like what happens to his character in Vanilla Sky when he
Yeah.
gets to a car accident, and then he just wears that fucking mask, and he's just like, "Rah." Kurt Russell is like, "I was your father." Oh, that movie's fucking mumbo
Yeah.
jumbo.
Nonsense.
Any not final thoughts, but notes? Anything before we get into categories?
No, let's do it.
I guess just since we were just talking about it, what do you guys think about rock climbing? Real rock climbing.
I think it's
Um,
stupid. It's just like
I
like
wouldn't
that,
do it.
like him, what
Like
he was
him.
doing. Like,
Like
it's,
free solo?
like
Yeah, free
to
solo.
me, that's the equivalent of going like cave exploring, like in the tight. Like
Oh my
it's
god!
like, why are you doing that?
I don't support it.
No,
If
Not
you
at all.
want to use ropes,
yes,
go
I'm,
ahead.
I'm in with that. Yeah.
safety first. Safety never takes a
Mhm.
holiday.
Yes.
I mean, you're not ever gonna catch me doing it, but if you want to make a documentary like the film Free Solo, it gives people like us a chance to watch and be like, "Ooh, that's high."
Maybe if you're doing like a 30-foot thing and you're like, well, I don't want to use rope for this.
Yeah, but if you're
I'm
like,
just going to free solo this. But
Yeah.
if you're going like a couple, he was pretty high
Yeah,
up.
Like
Is-
That was a few thousand feet.
Some deep canyon.
Yeah, he's dead if he
It's in the
falls.
middle of nowhere.
That'd be
by
a
itself.
long fall.
I don't support it.
No one
No.
knows where he is.
I don't like it either. It
What
just-
about like when's the last time you guys went rock climbing? Like those like plastic big walls where you're
10
harnessed
plus
in?
years.
Yeah.
I never went to the top.
Really?
Anytime I did that, I never reached the top.
Answer me this: was there a rock climbing wall in Dick's Sporting Goods?
There
Not that I
used
know
to
of.
be.
I don't
There
used
used
to
to
be.
be. Yes.
I don't
Thought it was
remember,
crazy.
but
There used to be.
I didn't
100%.
spend a lot of time perusing dicks.
I thought I was
Clip
crazy.
that,
Oh, no,
clip
you're
that
not
if
crazy.
you want.
That's crazy.
It was there
Okay.
back
Yeah,
in the day.
Okay. Good.
I don't
I don't
remember.
Yeah, there definitely was.
Only like the 2-story ones.
Mhm.
That are like in the
Yeah,
Galleria.
maybe some still have them. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, like I don't know, Dick's.
Or-
Like if
Dick's
there's a,
Atlanta.
if there's a Dick's Sporting Goods with a rock climbing wall, there it shall remain.
Yeah.
Because there's no one going to take that down.
No.
I mean,
Paradise Island used to have a rock climbing wall, and I never reached the top.
remember the
I bet I
YMCA?
could do it now.
The
One.
YMCA is like probably where
They have
like,
a rock
most
climbing
people
the
go.
adventure
Right.
Did they have a rock climbing
very
wall?
small one, yeah, but it
I
wasn't.
don't remember.
You know, like the
I remember
like
the-
very the
the steep hill
Yeah.
that you would slide on with the ropes.
the static.
I remember that.
Yep.
I want to go. Let's go rock climbing,
All right,
Okay.
like fake rock climbing, not actual rocks.
but let's
Like
bring
the walls with the colored plastic rocks.
no. Let's actually go rock climbing and then bring the laptop, the microphone, and like the Wi-Fi boxes, and we'll just pot it while we climb. Sorry,
While we climb.
In the
Not at the
categories.
top.
yeah, not at the top. No,
Any final rock climbing thoughts?
I hate it.
Real rock climbing without ropes, I don't support.
I wouldn't do it.
If Tom Cruise is doing it for a movie, is it okay?
He was connected to a rope.
Yeah.
He was connected. To
But if he, I'm saying if he didn't.
no, because he could die.
It's still
Yeah, I mean,
stupid.
I mean, yeah, this is freaking awesome to watch, but like, if he died, we wouldn't have
Like in the
we wouldn't
movie,
get any
Ethan
more.
Hunt at the end just barely lives. The character, like he grabs the edge of the rope when he's sliding down.
Mhm.
Like, how lucky does he have to be that ledge was right there?
And then I also hate the part when he like takes like a breath when he's holding himself with his knees. Like, how
Yeah.
do you recover from that
And
situation?
he's not. His hands aren't touching the walls.
Yeah,
he's
and
just
he's just
relying
like
on his
hanging.
legs.
Yeah. Like, how do you recover from that, especially in the position that he's in? Like,
Strength.
I don't get it. I hate it.
Okay, best scene. I feel like this movie for me takes a little bit to get going. At first I was kind of, I mean, you can have the whole like meeting in Spain in the beginning and all that. But my first nominee is the horse racetrack scene, because I was watching it and I was like, not as many movies, at least not that I can think of, as you would think, like have scenes set here at a racetrack.
I
but
was thinking, I do appreciate the scenery in this.
I was like, not like I can only think of Stanley Kubrick's The Killing, and that's all that came to mind initially. I feel like, I guess there's a scene in A Bronx Tale when they're briefly betting on horses, but I feel like it's an underrepresented thing, especially for like I guess it's not a huge deal, but like the Kentucky Derby is a huge event. Gambling's big. You'd think that'd be like a more prominent thing.
I was waiting, like on the edge of my seat, waiting to see some gambling.
Oh, and then when he gives him like the 1,000 pounds, and he was like, "Put me down for 1,000."
No, I wasn't even counting that. It's when she walks outside and you see everyone with money in the air.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're lining up.
Yeah.
Fuck, what was I even? Oh, it kind of reminded me of another like higher class sporting event, I guess you could say, is like pompous like British rich people. It reminded me of the Henley Royal Regatta in The Social Network. And it was like, what a race, what a excruciatingly brutally close race. Those are always fun to dabble in. Next I have the fucking Chimera lab, just the entire Ethan infiltrating the lab. He's got his hands in like the gloves and the the ensuing shootout. It's just pure woo. It's just slow mo, turning around, hair whipping, two guns running across the wall, like that. That's always fun. Then it ends with Ethan fucking swan diving out the window. I was like,
And he does a front flip while he's diving.
Yes.
yeah, and I was
Yeah,
like, holy
that was
shit,
awesome.
this is awesome.
He did not need to do that.
No, that was so unnecessary, but it was awesome.
It was great.
Meanwhile, Luther's in the van, and then someone sticks a bomb on her. I'm like, get out of there, Luther. And then he's like, oh! And then he gets out. Love to see Luther Stick live another day. Next, I have basically the entire underground meeting before the big climax where Sean Ambrose and John McCloy meet, and they talk about stock options and all that. Meanwhile, it keeps cutting back to Ethan kicking a bunch of random goons' asses in a bunch of different ways, and he's hanging up on the ceiling, and there's the dove. I like that. And spoiler alert, the one I'm going with right away is just the climax, the motorcycle chase all the way to the fucking bike joust is fucking sick. That's my selection. It's just that's when I was watching it last night again. I was just like, this entirely makes up for everything else. Not that I think the movie's bad, but like comparing it to like Fallen, I was like, this isn't quite as good, but like climax, amazing. That's my pick. Any other scenes?
I'm also going with the ending. I think it's great. I love the beginning though. Just
The Rock.
I like the whole beginning
Oh,
from
like
on
the
the
plane?
plane
Oh,
until
yeah.
when he's on the gets the
You
sunglasses.
keep calling me Dimitri.
I love the mask reveal. It's awesome. And then when he's just on the mountain and he gets the sunglasses, it's like hell fucking yeah. And then when
Throws them.
he's in there's a part where he's in the sunglasses, he's standing like that, and the camera's panning across, and you see the camera guy in the glasses. It's
I didn't notice that.
It's hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just a big camera right in front of him. You can see the dude's head.
That's awesome.
It's great.
I just like the Tommy mountain climbing scene. That's great. And then I also had the car scene with the Porsche and the Audi with Naya and
and they're driving around the coast.
they're driving around the coast, yeah, and like the cars are spinning side by side. And I love the shots that we get in the middle of them like spinning like that. Just Cruise's hair just
blowing in the wind.
blowing in the wind. But yeah, I gotta go with the final fuckery. Yeah.
Billy.
I'm going with the lab like infiltration and shootout. That was really when it turned up for me because I was like, this is solid, but when he whipped out the second gun and started doing like 360 barrel rolls in the sky while shooting people
Insane.
and just taking dudes out, looking in mirrors, blowing like C4 up, I'm like, this is it for
This
me.
is cinema. Pat?
Yeah, I'm going with the end.
Mm-hmm.
The end is just like, it's what probably pushes it above one for me.
Yeah,
I mean, otherwise they're pretty equal, but like the end is
Tom Cruise doing spin kicks in the sand.
Yeah.
Doing some like awesome WWE kick moves.
This movie features, I don't know if we've talked about it enough, this movie features a motorcycle joust. That's fucking awesome.
Dude, when they freaking jump at each other.
And then the motorcycles explode.
I was like, holy fuck.
That was like the peak. I was like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed out loud watching it.
And like
this is awesome.
The really quick shot of like the gun like landing in the sand. Do you remember like that? I don't know why that like took so much out of me. I just started dying laughing when it was just a quick shot of the gun. It was like in the sand.
Best quote. I've got two nominees. One from Anthony Hopkins that could have been Ian McKellen. This isn't mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. This is mission impossible. So difficult should be a walk in the park for you. And the one I knew what would be my winner going in is Luther in the helicopter going, put a hole in my Versace. That's my winner. Does anyone else have anything?
Best quote. I put just this is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I thought that this is my favorite one. That foreign guy, whatever his name is, like every search for a hero must begin with something that every hero requires. A villain.
It's like the first line of the movie.
Yeah.
It's repeated a few times too.
And then I got when the dude is talking to the Hugh, I think.
Yeah.
And he's when Naya first arrives by boat after getting rescued out of prison, like the camera is scanning her. It's like, oh, she's clean. And the dude in his accent, it's just like all cats are.
Yeah.
Just the line delivery in his accent was great. And I got Ethan Hunt is like, we just rolled a snowball and tossed it in hell.
That was sick.
Crazy.
That was sick.
So what's your winner?
I'm going with every search for a hero.
All right.
I also do have that put a hole in my Versace. Dude,
Really?
Luther is dressed up nice.
He's
Dude, he's so he was in
with
the
his
first one
shoes
too.
when he steps in the pool.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
Very stylish man.
Yes, it is. Reminiscent of in Back to the Future when they drive into the manure and they go, shit.
I had that one. This ain't funny. I just bought these $800 Gucci shoes.
Gucci, Versace, he's a stylish guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's balling.
I had two others. I had Ethan Hunt when he goes, serious trouble now is something I can always arrange. And I'm just like, yeah, of course you can, Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
But my winner is my fucking boy, Billy Baird. G'day, mate. I'm William Baird, but Billy's okay. Anything you need me to get, move, or watch, just let me know. I'm your man.
I'm your man.
We never see him again. Spoiler alert, I guess, but like he's never mentioned again. But he's killing it in 2. Jack, do you have a quote?
I also had Mission Difficult, Mission Impossible. Then I had when the dude's getting strangled at the horse race. He's just like, now where's the lube? And
Why was he going so hard at this worker?
I have
Oh.
no
He's
idea.
obviously worker.
It was an accident. He accidentally hit him with the
Like he think,
accident,
well,
but-
we know he's like the mission dude.
Yeah,
But he's
it's like
choking him.
Put some respect on Billy's name.
Slamming the door.
choking him out. Jeez,
Some roid
that
rage.
means business.
Now where's the lube?
Now where's the lube? And then I had Luther after he's running back to the van. I don't know what the scenario was, but he's like, "I'm booted up. Go, Ethan." He's just like, it's just
He's sweating.
Oh my god, he's so
Well,
wet.
dude, Luther might be the MVP of the series. I
Then
fucking love him.
I had I need it now, you whacked out Russian gypsy. I don't know why that was just. I was like, what? When McCloy's sitting in the bed, he's like, he's got the virus. He's like,
Oh yeah, when he was like quarantined.
was that supposed to not be a dream, or was that a dream?
No, that was Ethan in the mask.
Oh, okay, because right, they just made it think it was a dream
Hmm.
because he wakes up in his limo, and then I just had the Punk put a hole in my Versace.
Punk put a hole in my Versace. It's crazy. And there's another point where he's in the helicopter and someone's shooting him and he goes, "Oh, I'm mad now." And he's like loading up the gun. And I was like, "Fucking get him, Luther."
Yeah.
Sixth Man. So this was tough for me throughout the movie because I was scanning and looking, and I was like, "Who could be my sixth man?" And then it came to me right at the end. I want to honor this guy because I feel like he had it pretty tough. I'm going with one of Ambrose's goons that is in the Ethan Hunt mask that gets shot up. That was, what a tough beat for that guy. He gets beaten up, duct tape over his mouth,
His finger cut with a cigar cutter.
put in an Ethan Hunt mask, and then shot up. And then it's like, oh,
Although he
It
did
was
strangle
sad.
that dude at the horse race, but still,
he had to go to the loo.
the lead.
Blue.
I didn't catch his name, although I'm sure I know he has.
He was
Bodyguard 3.
Hugh.
That's you.
That's
Oh,
Hugh.
See, I don't know if I realized Hugh was the one in the mask, even though it's very clearly revealed. So yeah, I'm going with Hugh. Rip Hugh. Who's your sixth man, David?
Brendan Gleeson counts, right?
I thought he might have been a little too much,
Okay.
but I guess
I think he was in it more than him.
really.
I think he was
Well, when I wrote it
like
down-
a big character.
When I wrote it down, I didn't realize. That's embarrassing. I didn't realize it was
in
Hugh.
2 scenes, right?
I'd say he counts. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
John
That's what I'm
McClane.
Oh my god, his chest is so when he's in the hospital bed and his nipples are hanging out.
Okay.
Whoa.
Dude's chest is full of hair and it.
You got some hairy nips.
He
Yeah.
is a man, and we are still boys. All right, yeah. So
But yeah, I got him
Hairy
too.
chest.
John McCloy.
He's one of those dudes. He's not on my Mount Rushmore of dudes where I appreciate when they're in the movie, but
But I like him.
he's
Yeah,
a
I like
he's
him.
a nice
Good seeing
honorable
him.
mention.
Mm-hmm.
My sixth man was the Spanish guy at the beginning, like the mansion owner or
Oh,
whoever.
is he the one
He's by Naya. And
Yeah.
I loved when he goes, "It's Mr. Keys, our security engineer. Apologize." I was like, this dude's got it. He's got the right idea.
Jack.
I gotta go. I think his name is Wallace Will Mapother. Is it Mapother?
That's Tom Cruise's cousin. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with him. I don't know. I feel like he didn't have a lot of lines and stuff. But He was just more in the background, different shots of him. I was like,
I really
I know him from something. I don't know what I know him from.
I'm really embarrassed that I didn't realize my sixth man was Hugh. But I just really wanted to honor him because he was getting shit on the whole movie. Best shot. This was no question for me. It's when Ethan Hunt is riding a motorcycle out of the explosion in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking badass.
Yeah, just went with like when they jumped at each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sick too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fucking
Oh,
awesome.
I actually,
Also, when he's on the fucking that.
Holding
Yeah.
That's the
himself
thing in the
on
beginning.
mountain.
He's on the fucking mountain, standing
Canyons
tall.
behind him.
And it's so sick.
I have a few. Yeah, when he's on top of the mountain, he throws the glasses into the
Mhm.
intro.
Mhm.
And there in the beginning when they're leaving the mansion, the slow mo after like she speeds off and he's like standing there in the with the fog. I don't know why that was like in slow motion, but yeah. Once again, the slow mo shots of Tom as the cars are spinning
Yeah.
on the on the coast. And then I had Ethan walking through the fire after he shoots the grenade in the doorway. Thought that was a really good one. And then him on the bike on the bridge going through the fire after
That was the one I had.
Oh yeah. And then my final one was Wallace mentioned again before the car gets like absolutely schmoed by the truck. Just a quick shot of him like reacting to the truck coming towards him. It's just I don't know. Like when he does the big burn, or no, it wasn't during the big burnout scene. I think it was. I forget what was going on here.
So what's your choice?
I probably gotta go. Just the shots of like him on the mountain. I thought they were great.
Billy?
I also had the mountain, but I'm going with his dive from the 42nd floor of Biosite,
Yeah.
legs back, guns held up. I just thought it was
That was
awesome.
sick. Pat?
So I'm going with when he shoots the grenade at the door and you see him through the fire and the bird comes through the doorway as well.
It's like glowing.
Yeah. And then the only shot I have that has not been mentioned is the cigar box and then the cigar getting cut.
Oh,
I thought those were great.
I did
We
like the
love
cigar
cigars.
getting cut.
just
The sound.
another shots moment we had. We talked about this last time. We'd love like a spy hanging from the ceiling, only like an inch off the ground.
Yeah.
Thought we had that again.
We do love those.
I appreciate that a lot. Hopefully, we get that in the third one, but I don't know.
Best moment. I've got two. I have Ethan throwing the sunglasses, which leads to an explosion that reveals produced by Tom Cruise and Paula Wagner, directed by John Woo, Mission Impossible 2.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, holy fuck. With Limp Bizkit kicking in the background, I was like, this is 2000. And then I have the Ethan mask reveal, like the Ethan mask that Hugh is wearing. It's holy fucking
Mhm.
shit. I'm going with that one because I remember the first time I saw this movie, I damn near lost my mind.
Just the entire, like we said, the last 20 minutes of the movie. Just there's so many out of that. Just you
Yeah.
can choose
The
from.
movie like suddenly goes from like 7 to 12.
Yeah.
It's like holy
I
shit.
got a few moments. I got when Ambrose is dressed in the Ethan mask and he karate chops the dude's throat.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna write that
Is that
down.
when he's
too.
in the beginning? Was like,
Yeah.
"You're calling me Demetrius?"
Yeah.
the throat chop.
He chops his throat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Then
Yeah,
I got
he
the
snaps his neck.
I got the glasses into the intro,
Yeah.
of course. I got the moment when Luther sees the bomb's clock ticking down in the mirror.
He gets out.
Great moment, you know. If he didn't check that, he'd be dead.
It'd be done.
And I do what you said earlier, Luther going, "Oh, I'm mad now." Loads up the grenade launcher and just starts firing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I got the semi obliterating the
Yep.
car.
Yes.
It destroys it.
Yep.
It blows up. I got Ethan Hunt riding the motorcycle, shoes scraping the ground.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's just sliding along with it.
He's trying not to take a shot.
And then the midair collision with
Yeah.
the motorcycle joust.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
But then I'm going with my favorite moment, last one, is towards the end. Gun in the sand. Ethan kicks it. It shoots up. He grabs it. He starts shooting at it.
Billy.
So I have most of those. I like the semi hitting the car and not losing any speed and just turning it into an inferno was really funny.
Plowing through.
But so from his like last kind of like infiltration into that like storage facility or whatever, there was one specific moment where he ran up on a guard and you could like hear his footsteps of him like full on sprinting.
Yeah.
And to put the guard out, he does a front flip leg drop in slow
On his
motion
stomach?
on the stomach.
I have that on here. I totally forgot about that. It's like
And I was
unnecessary.
like,
Yeah.
this is he fucking.
The
I can't even. I don't even know what I could even say about
Like,
that.
why?
I saw that and then I stopped the movie and I replayed.
Why did he front flip?
It doesn't change the angles like 5 times.
Yes. Yeah, there's one when he takes off. There's another one when he's like
It's like
180.
Liam Neeson hopping a fence and taking 3. It's
Just
awesome.
needs more momentum.
Jim, so what was your best moment?
The leg drop.
That's your
that
best
was
moment?
so awesome.
So sick.
Jack?
I had the shoes clanking as they're going to catch Ethan as he's going to destroy the Chimera, or I forgot how you say it, but like
Yeah,
the shoe-
Chimera.
Yeah, the shoes clanking in the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
when he jumps out of the exploded part of the building, does a flip in there.
Holding the gun.
Yeah. And then when he runs up on the dude and on the island and like rogue kicks him, he's like the first dude he takes out on the island.
Yeah.
You see him running up and he just absolutely just kicks him in the chest.
Seamus.
And then when obviously the motorcycle joust, and then once again when he kicks the gun up in the sand and starts shooting at him, I gotta go with the motorcycle joust. Just the catch midair. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh my god!
When they lunge at each other and the bikes explode, that's what I'm talking about.
I think all mask reveals. I think
Yeah.
can just be.
They
thrown
never
in
get
there.
old.
Once again.
How many were in the first one?
2.
There's the one right in the beginning, and then there's the John Boy one on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 4 mask reveals in this one.
It's
And they've got like the like thing on their neck for the voice.
Yeah.
was that new? They didn't have. Those
I don't think they did that in one. Maybe they didn't have the tech yet.
They're advancing.
Yeah.
What do you think that's doing? Like sending impulses.
Yeah. Neuro waves.
Like, how do you copy that from somebody's voice and then
Put it on a little patch.
just put it on a patch that goes on your neck and
Makes you sound like
you
them.
sound like that person?
And then like there's like in the beginning they're doing it, and like Ambrose still has it on, but it's still Tom Cruise's voice, but the guy's face, and it's just like, this is awesome. Who could Ed Harris have played? I had John McCloy.
That's what I
Gleason.
I had him too.
Are we all in
Yep.
agreement?
I'm on McCloy.
Boy.
Yeah,
Maybe
Yeah.
he could also have done Anthony Hopkins just
Yeah.
because he was in it for so little.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, but I'm like, that's too little screen time.
Yeah.
Can you
But he very well could.
Ed would have cooked in the scene where Ambrose wants the stocks, and he would have been like, "You're not taking my company from me." Like you would have been like, "You disrespectful little shit! I own you."
Take him
And we would have got shirtless Ed.
Ooh. Oh my god.
Do you guys think Ed
Out.
has a hairy chest, or does he
Oh.
shave?
Clean shave.
Clean and tan.
He's,
I will
he's pretty. We can't see at all.
Do you think there's a movie where he has a shirt off, where we
I-
could find out?
Between all the movies he's been in, I'm sure, but what is this turning into?
He's golden brown.
Discussion.
It sounds good. Ed Harris.
He's got a nice
35.
crisp to him.
It's like 70 years old.
Yeah. Big Ed Harris fans.
I love him.
He's been pull up shirtless pictures of Ed Harris.
That's crazy.
Ed
Go to
Harris.
the room. I got to show us.
That one picture, it was looking pretty ripped.
Billy is currently showing us a shirtless picture of Ed Harris.
Ed Harris is 74
Whoa,
years
safe search. I'm not.
And he is
Dude, I'm not going down that
he
route.
is indeed Harry.
What? He was only 49
What
at the
movie
time
is
of
that
this
from?
movie.
There you go.
Oh, Mission Impossible.
Yeah. So he's probably clean shaven.
No,
in
I'm-
2000.
Am I just finding this out? He lost his Malibu house in the Palisades fire this year.
No.
Hopefully got caught.
I'm sure he's doing well.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
I hope he's doing okay.
If he needs help, though, he's more than welcome to come on and just talk to us.
Get a little
Pour his
exposure.
feelings out, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just now realizing we've never done an Ed Harris movie, right?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
we have
Okay.
not.
It will happen.
Pain and Gain will probably be the first, right? Or almost we do Top Gun Maverick, which he does appear in with Tom Cruise.
What else is like a big guys movie with a minute?
Pain and Gain's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Unless we were like, hey, we're doing radio. Or Snowpiercer, he's in
Yeah.
Snowpiercer.
Apollo 13.
The Firm.
yeah.
Yeah. There's some good titles. Gone Baby Gone, I love that one.
Mhm.
If I had to predict,
Yeah, out of everything.
Pain and Gain will probably be first. That's a huge movie. Any final closing Mission Impossible 2 thoughts?
I just got a couple questions for
Okay.
you guys. Has anyone ever used an oxygen mask? Do they like bring down the
like on a
oxygen
plane?
masks in the plane, just
No.
anywhere?
No, I have.
Has anyone used an oxygen?
Probably when for surgery, probably.
Yeah, we have these masks at work that we're supposed to like wear when we're like undercoating a vehicle.
Does it feel like anything, or just like you're just
It
breathing?
just feels like I'm breathing normal, but I can't smell like the
Like the fumes.
yeah, the fumes. It just blocks it. It's not like a high tech. It's just like it's got
Yeah.
pads on it and stuff. It just blocks out that stuff.
Aren't like oxygen bars a thing?
Oxygen bars?
Oxygen bars. I think that's a thing.
Can you elaborate?
Like you go and breathe flavored oxygen.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Let's go to one.
hmm
I don't.
And they sell
I know
those
that.
like oxygen containers.
Yeah.
And you just breathe in. Yeah.
Like Dennis Hopper and Blue Velvet.
It's kind of cool. I wonder what it's like.
No,
Is
I
it just
think-
like
I hear those are great.
like taste the
Like,
air?
those are really good.
I wonder if like they're a thing anymore. If that was like a fad
When you
back
just
in the
feel
day.
like shit.
There's like they all
One of
closed down.
those.
Yeah.
Is it just like a delicious air?
I think so.
Isn't that what vaping is?
A tasty air?
Well, there's no like drugs.
Yeah, just straight
Yeah,
in.
it's
Yeah.
just
No
no
thinking.
Yeah, it's just air.
Is this what Aloysius O'Hare from the Lorax based his fortune off of?
Probably, yeah.
Selling air.
The first zillionaire.
Is that his name? Aloysius?
Aloysius.
Well, who was the first zillionaire? Him or Mel from the Benchwarmers, who bought his home for $2 zillion?
Two zillion, actually.
Mel. Gotta go Mel.
If we ever do the Benchwarmers, it will break.
It would probably be a 5-minute pod
Yeah.
because the movie's
'Cause
2
the
minutes.
movie's so short?
The movie's
Yeah, but I
5
think the
minutes long.
tangents will.
No, our
Send
pod
me
will
into
be longer
retirement.
than the movie.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
I think
For
that
sure.
I think that will be the final one. I think it'll send me into an early retirement
Yeah, Benchwarmers.
because I'll still
No,
be.
Benchwarmers to Breaking
I'll
Balls
still.
with Chris Klein.
Oh,
Oh,
dude, we can get Chris Klein on here.
We
he's-
should
he's a
that.
better- he's
It'd be a real
Yeah.
shame if we got Chris Klein and we did Benchwarmers.
Guys, like,
too,
look at
instead
these
of, like,
this
American
picture,
Pie.
like this hot
I don't know,
freaking
actually.
bar. It's got like
Wow.
these different colored
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
things that you breathe.
We should go.
Yeah, they're like a popular thing.
Interesting.
Take a break and breathe easy.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
All right.
All right, any other things?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, one of the reoccurring things, I guess, just in this movie is the mask reveals, and they're awesome. And I guess that's only
Not just this movie, but this franchise.
the franchise. I mean, yeah, I guess that's only relevant to this franchise. But since it's so reoccurring, like, do you guys have any other, I guess, tropes in movies in general, just reoccurring that you guys are big fans of? Like, I have an example is like the Wilhelm scream.
That was
so any movie,
I forgot-
not just like another
There was
franchise.
one in this movie.
There was a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, it was like towards the end. There was an explosion. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I do love Wilhelm screams.
Any
love
tropes?
them.
Things that just,
Yeah, actually, there are.
I guess, like gambling could be
I wouldn't. That's more of an activity.
title dropping.
one I can think about from this movie is when he's rock climbing. There's a hawk screech, and whenever we're in an arid or deserted area, I love a good just hawk screech. Maybe a tumbleweed too.
Ooh, when you're in a
Oh,
desert.
Yeah.
Good tumble.
In like sports movies, or really any movie, but there's one I'm thinking of immediately, like douchebag fathers. So like in Friday Night Lights, country star Tim McGraw plays this fucking like peaked in high school absolute loser dad who's like an asshole to his son because he still wants to live through like his high school days. And I guess you can kind of say like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite is kind of like that too, but in a much goofier way. But like peaked in high, I mean, we've talked about ad nauseum on this pod. We love douchebags, you know,
Yeah.
like Varsity Jacket, like the guys from Big Fat Liar. It's like classic douches. Yeah, stuff like that is what immediately comes to mind. And I'm sure there's many more that I just can't think of. Anything else?
Final question: what is the better movie, Mission Impossible 2 or Norbit?
Mission Impossible.
Norbit.
The best. What's her name?
Tandaway Newton.
Mission
Wait,
Impossible 2.
What's the better her movie?
Norbit.
I'm going Norbit.
Her?
For her-
Movie with her.
For her career or best movie?
With her in it.
I think
What are you guys
Probably,
picking? This
probably
or
Mission
Norbit?
Impossible.
I think this is
Yeah, no Mission
I think this is a better movie.
But if we're talking about her specifically,
I think
Yeah,
this is also
that's
better
what
for
I'm
her
saying,
career
yeah.
than Norbit.
If we're talking straight up movie, I'm going Mission.
No, but I think even from a like career, if you're her,
Just what do you like better?
if you're her
I'm going
manager,
Mission Impossible 2.
then I think sharing the screen with Tom Cruise is
It's
better
probably
than
bigger,
sharing the screen
yeah.
with Rasputia.
I gotta go Norbit.
I'm going Norbit.
Gotta go Norbit.
oh, we had gambling.
There was
Give that
gambling.
There was no freeze frame.
No,
We
They
we
did
get
say
title
Mission
drop.
Impossible.
We did say Mission Impossible 2.
Two
did not say 2.
So, are you considering that?
No.
If this was the first one, it would have.
This would have counted. All right.
Could Tom Cruise be a Rasputia, you think?
100%.
Would he do something like that?
Easily.
I guess the closest we ever got was Les Grossman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Honestly, Tom Cruise in Norbit.
Yeah. So what did you guys watch on
Paramount Plus.
I have the Blu-ray.
Paramount Plus.
I watched this on the Blu-ray.
Prime?
Nice.
They're all on Paramount
Yeah, they're all on Paramount and Prime.
and Prime. Okay.
You guys discussed this on last episode.
I was gonna watch my.
I listened.
I didn't know if they were on both. I thought they were just probably on Prime. Or
I was gonna watch it on 4K UHD, but things didn't turn out that way, so I just threw it on Paramount Plus. All right. Any closing thoughts?
That's it.
Oh, I have the poster of this in my bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
right above my bed.
Poster.
It is an awesome poster.
Where'd you get it?
I got this at I think it's called the Emporium. It was like $4.
Good poster.
Thrift store. Okay.
Mhm.
It is a very good poster.
It's a great poster.
Is that the
Uh,
best poster of the series?
We'll figure that out when we do Mission Impossible
Yeah,
3
I
next
can't
week. Bye
think of
bye.
all of them. I'm out anyway. Bye bye.
All right, we're going to send it back to the studio. Mike Tirico, I want to know what the proper ratio is on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Back to you.